Welcome back, all my One Piece fans. It's your boy Philosophy here, talking about One Piece. We're on by this week. We just finished up chapter 1093. Awesome chapter. I would like to talk about One Piece more objectively. For example, um, does Oda look at the content creators? Because he has some really interesting concepts in it. I think that yes, astronomy and astrology has something to do with One Piece for sure. Even when you look at the saints, the Goroseis, you look at that ST, that saint could be symbolized number 12, and we do know that there were 12 planetary zodiacs, right? Which is very interesting because NASA has now found a 13th zodiac. So people born between what? I believe it's like November 29th to December 17th actually fall under another zodiac now called Ophiuchus. However, we've known about Ophiuchus for a very long time. It appears in uh, star charts or like Dendoras or megaliths sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. So we know that the 13th zodiac is Dispin Serpentia. It symbolizes the man who stands and snaps a serpent or snake in half. Now, oddly enough, uh, the name Emu, I don't think Emu is actually an individual consciousness. I think he might be a group mind. Because when I look at his name, it's IMU. I is the ninth letter of the alphabet. It refers to the highest level or a completion of such, but not totality, not like totally complete. It completes a cycle. It's the highest number you can get to before you start a whole new invisible set. Um, then you look at the M. That's the 13th. The 13th zodiac. Just mentioned it. Ophiuchus. It is viewed as the person who really like snaps the reality in half. But in a numerological sense, it's a number that supersedes the 12. It's like a wormhole, a black hole. It's what our actual sun revolves around, the black hole. So 13th is like the illuminated one amongst the 12, on which the 12 revolve around. Then you go to U. Actually, it's the 21st letter in the alphabet. Weren't there 21 swords at the throne and the invisible in the shadow throne? But 21 also refers to a divine or enlightened one whose followers are close nearby, but basically completes also is a form of completion also. So Emu looks like he has some souped up numerology in his title or name, if you will. I don't think, like I said, I think Emu is a symbol of something much greater, which is interesting because even when you look at Kuma, you know, the Kumas, the SSGs, when you look at those numbers and you break them down, you actually get a 9. You get a S19, S19, and you get a GB and 7. When you break it, the numerology down, you actually get a 9. And what they said is a completed thing, but it also reverts to an inverted 6. Um, Look at the Mads group. The Mads group that had Vegapunk, Caesar Clown, Judge, Queen. I think that this group actually parallels the Gorosei in a way because all the saints seem like they're over some type of cosmic thing. Agriculture, war, very interesting stuff. Now, Mads, oddly enough, is a group that deals with some really devastating sciences. We have a group that is not very well known. It's called the Mad Science Department. So it's a group in DARPA that actually gave us the internet and other technologies, even technologies dealing with cybernetics, which control um, machines and actually people. Have you heard of Neuralink? Well, oddly enough, Vegapunk is dealing with some of these sciences right now are looking to create an internet or a worldwide web of information. So the internet looks like it could be used positively or negatively. I mean, there's some very not so good stuff in the internet. I think they call it the dark web. Never been on there. I don't suggest people go on the dark web. Now look at this. I just said it. Now I created a domain of knowing. I just created a new domain of knowing. So now people heard the word dark web and they're gonna look it up. Don't do that. Um, and if you do go on the internet, you should have some type of virus, antivirus stuff. I would say like AVG or Surfshark. Um, so if the internet could be a negative and a positive thing, what might it actually be? And what does that to do with Monkey D. Luffy and Egghead right now? He's being surrounded by thousands of Marines, and he's facing an admiral that he looks like he's mid-diffing. However, Saint Garcia Saturn is now in the position to actually take out the Vegapunks with the master control chip. So now it's a very interesting. This looks like something called a stalemate, where both parties, no one actually wins, but no one actually loses. Because I don't think that anybody there can probably beat Luffy at this point. I mean, I think Kizaru is in a major disadvantage. But at the same time, I do believe the Gorosei are at least as strong as the Admirals, or if not, maybe even stronger. And I think it's not just brute strength. I think they know things, or maybe they have some multiple devil fruits. It might be possible. So, what is Luffy? Is Luffy gonna? Is Luffy going to lose some of his positioning by giving up part of his genetics that let them try to clone his devil fruit? Because they've been looking for that devil fruit for a long time. You know, the Sanganika fruit, formerly the Gum fruit, government claims that fruit has been able to avoid them. Is it possible that Shanks, with his hockey killing ability, was tasked to find that fruit because it avoided everyone else and he could not be part of the world government, but at the same time be part of a secret group in the government tasked to actually find the fruit, find somebody to evolve the fruit, and later procure something from that fruit? I'm not sure, but these are possibilities. Oda's a mad scientist. He's mad. He's got a lot of hidden gems inside this anime. A lot, a lot. So if they did get the sun god powers and were able to clone it, what would be the effect? Because when Lelouchia was destroyed, the water level rose on the planet, which is very odd, especially when you think it disappeared. It did disappear, right? So that doesn't make much sense unless we're actually putting more mass into the water, or maybe we're building a whole new world around it and Lucia no longer exists because they built a whole new frame or world over top of it. Just like in Wano, there was another Wano beneath Wano. Who could copy something like that? Are those the powers of the sun god Nika? Are the mother frames a form of this technology? That's a very interesting concept, and I think that might be not too far off from the truth. So we know that the mother frame has a load time because why wouldn't you just keep, firing off like infinitely? So when they get Luffy's powers, you could combine probably a whole bunch of technology and devil fruits with it, I would assume. Yeah. I would say you probably have the capability to use the mother frame more, but you might actually be able to use some or not all of the devil fruits from Seven Warlords as a form of weaponry, really. For example, um, they revive the revived fruit, the double fruit that allows the guy to take people's souls out of them, and they can't come out, and they'll get burned up by the sun. Um, I think that that's a very devastating weapon to use on somebody. You got everybody on lockdown, theoretically speaking. They won't be able to come out. You'll be in your room somewhere, trying to hide from the sun. If you could take the powers of the mother friend and the powers of the sun god, his Toon Force, and combine it with other devil fruits, in theory, you could use something like the string fruit from Doflamingo. You can mix it with soul taking abilities. You could basically create a zombie. Man, no one knows. They'd probably say, well, it happens on this day, say October 4th at 2/22, 2023, and that'd be like a code, which would basically be like an inverted 9, adds all up to 666. I don't know, but there's so many. The sky's the limit with this thing. The admirals, if they see that type of technology being used indiscriminately, you're definitely going to have a defection, which may set up a Ragnarok type situation where you have all the admirals defecting, but now we're going to have a whole new villain. This could end up turning into a fairy tale, guys. So get ready. I mean, that's good and it's not so good because we're going to have a whole bunch of new characters. And we always know when there's new characters, they normally lose, or they load just certain guys, but in the end point, they all lose. Not like you pick up new bodies. So I don't know what's going to necessarily happen there, but I'm just looking at objectively. Like there's some real groups out there. There's some real concepts. Egghead looks like it, but in the number sense, it looks like it's a loss. But nobody can beat Luffy. But in a war of attrition, they would win. The Vegapunks have more authority than the Admirals, and the highest authority without the Gorosei being present, but the Gorosei are there. I think that the Straw Hats will be able to leave Egghead after they do their little bit of wrestling. And then I think that I don't think that the people coming to the island are going to be a major factor. I don't think they actually get to the inner parts of the stratosphere or the I don't think they get past the Marines. Basically, I think they may be a check on the military force that the Marines have out there, and that will be another check. So that looks like a stalemate to me, guys. Um, when will the chapter end? When will this arc end? I think that Oda using a number observation, I think that 1,110. I think that's when we'll be done with Egghead. Because that number right there symbolizes Zoro's bounty. And we know that Oda likes to line things up certain types of ways. So is it going to be like a minor arc where, where, where Zoro is actually dealing with Shanks as a swordman or Mihawk, the Cross Guild, even? What do you guys think? Drop something in the comments. Let me know what you think about these numbers I'm coming up with. Let me know what you think about these gems that Oda has in the character development and in these different groups that were out there in real life. I mean, we need people that like study numerology, like not as a side hobby, but like people that study um, astrology deeply, like an astrologer. We need people that are into the sciences, to actually look at this thing because it is art imitating life. It's a construct, maybe to say things or to put things on our particular interest that it's not just like, oh, this is a movie and we're just gonna focus on vampires and werewolves and diseases and stuff like that. Nah, it's more. I think One Piece is a more comprehensive work with more concepts Um, it is a funny. It has actually some actual natural humor in there, not like jokes, but joke characters. So yeah, I want to see what you guys have to say. Um, I just wanted to say something about this One Piece thing because this kept popping up in my head. Like, what's really going on with Emo in the Gorosei and those 21 swords? Because those swords, I don't think they're just there for decoration. You know, so when if you take those 21 swords and you take some of the heavy hitters, if the admirals join the Straw Hats, you can have a 21-21, or 20, or maybe 24-24, maybe a Gorosei defects. I'm not sure. Clearly, I'm not sure. Who can predict a madman? Who can predict Oda? You know, we can only see a pattern. We can only see like we can only see parallel constructions. You know, how really like every arc we go into, there's some type of oppression, and Luffy's crew come in and they handle it, but the oppressor are trying to create their own situations, like the celestial dragons have, or like how Emu has going on. So we almost see a parallel there, even to the point where Luffy normally finishes the big bad guy with a big punch, even though Oda said he wasn't going to finish Kaido with a big punch. He technically finished Kaido with a big punch. Maybe Kaido's not finished, uh, but everybody else that get finished with a punch, big punch, they didn't die either. So I guess that was a curveball. No one said Oda had to actually tell us the absolute truth, and no one said that he had to actually answer us. And no one said that he couldn't have dropped a whole bunch of hidden gems like a panda bear inside of different arcs. Well, who is the panda bear? Is it a sign for like a Pangea? Something that pops up throughout the whole anime, connecting certain uh, things in that page or in a certain chapter that are hidden gems. And if we could put the pieces together, it would make a foreshadowing tapestry or maybe tell us the whole thing. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to keep posting out more content. I would like if you guys got anything from the video to please like, okay? Or drives the algorithm, subscribe, okay? And then share it because I know what I'm talking about. I don't hear nobody talking about it, you know. And I'm really just warming up. We're really just warming this thing up. So, um, until next time, guys. Philosophy signing out. Peace.